What if I told you that one simple fruit, something you can pick up at almost any grocery store for under $2, could quietly help protect your eyesight while you sleep? Not eye drops, not expensive supplements, not prescription medication. A fruit. One that many seniors have heard about for years, but almost nobody is eating at the most effective time of day. I'm Dr. Lori Sanders, and during my 24 years working as a family medicine physician focused on senior health, I've watched far too many patients lose their vision from conditions that could have been prevented. And one of the most surprising discoveries from the research I'm sharing with you today is this: when you eat certain foods can matter just as much as what you eat. So before you head to bed tonight, stay with me, because what I'm about to explain could genuinely help preserve your eyesight. But first, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me this. Do you have any family history of eye conditions like cataracts, glaucoma, or macular degeneration? Just type yes or no. It helps me understand who I'm speaking to, and it allows me to make better videos for you. Go ahead, I'll wait. All right, let's begin. Why seniors need to pay closer attention to eye health. Let me start with a few numbers that should really make you stop and think. According to the World Health Organization, more than 2.2 billion people worldwide are currently living with some form of visual impairment. And here's the heartbreaking part. Over half of those cases could have been prevented or still haven't been properly treated. Now here's what worries me even more as someone who works with older adults every day. After age 60, the risk of developing serious eye disease increases dramatically. We're talking about age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in adults over 60. Cataracts, which cloud the eye's lens and gradually make vision blurry and dim. By the age of 75, about half of all Americans develop cataracts. Glaucoma, a condition that slowly damages the optic nerve, often without noticeable symptoms until permanent vision loss has already occurred. And diabetic retinopathy, a complication of diabetes that can lead to total blindness if not properly managed. I know those diagnoses sound frightening, but here's the encouraging news. Your eyes are not simply aging passively. Every day, they are either being protected or harmed by the choices you make, especially the foods you eat. The human eye is one of the most metabolically active organs in the entire body. It constantly requires antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals to fight the oxidative stress that builds up from years of sunlight exposure, screen time, and normal aging. And here's something most doctors unfortunately don't explain clearly enough. The body absorbs and uses certain nutrients differently depending on the time of day you consume them. Sleep is one of the body's most powerful repair periods. During those nighttime hours, the nutrients circulating in your bloodstream are actively involved in restoration and recovery, including repair inside the eyes. That's why what you eat before bed matters much more than most people realize. Now let me explain some of the science so you understand not just that this fruit works, but why it works. Your eyes depend heavily on two major groups of nutrients. The first group is carotenoids. These are natural plant pigments responsible for the yellow, orange, and red colors in many fruits and vegetables. The two most important carotenoids for eye health are lutein and zeaxanthin. These nutrients accumulate directly inside the macula, the central area of the retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision. They function almost like internal sunglasses, filtering harmful blue light and neutralizing free radicals before those unstable molecules can damage the sensitive photoreceptor cells in your eyes. One major study, the AREDS-2 trial conducted by the National Eye Institute, discovered that higher dietary intake of lutein and zeaxanthin was strongly associated with a lower risk of advanced macular degeneration. The second nutrient family is anthocyanins. These are powerful antioxidants found in dark-colored fruits and berries. Research published in the journal Nutrients showed that anthocyanins help support healthy blood flow to the retina, reduce inflammation within eye tissues, and may even improve night vision and visual fatigue. Then there's vitamin C. Interestingly, the aqueous humor, the fluid inside your eye, contains one of the highest concentrations of vitamin C found anywhere in the body. That's not accidental. Vitamin C helps protect the eye's lens against oxidative damage, one of the major causes of cataract formation. And finally, vitamin A and beta-carotene. Vitamin A is essential for producing rhodopsin, the pigment your eyes need in order to see properly in low-light environments. In fact, vitamin A deficiency remains one of the leading preventable causes of blindness worldwide. So when I reveal this fruit to you, understand that it isn't magic. It works because it naturally contains a remarkably effective combination of lutein, zeaxanthin, anthocyanins, vitamin C, and beta-carotene, in forms your body can efficiently absorb and use. Ready to hear what it is? Before I reveal it, if you're finding this information helpful, please take 2 seconds to press the like button. It truly helps this channel reach more seniors who could benefit from this information. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss future videos. All right, here it is. The fruit I recommend is blueberries, and their European cousin, bilberries. Now, before you say, "Doctor, everyone already knows blueberries are healthy," stay with me, because most people have absolutely no idea how powerful these berries are specifically for aging eyes, and almost nobody is consuming them at the optimal time. Let me tell you about one of my patients. I'll call her Margaret. Margaret was 68 years old when she came into my office, worried about worsening night vision. Driving after dark had become difficult, and by midday, her eyes constantly felt strained and fatigued. Her ophthalmologist had recently diagnosed her with early-stage macular degeneration. She was already taking a daily multivitamin, so she assumed her nutrition was adequate. But when I reviewed her diet, I noticed something important: almost no colorful produce, very little fruit, no berries at all. So I recommended something simple. 1 cup of fresh or frozen blueberries every evening about an hour before bedtime. I also made a few additional dietary adjustments. 6 months later, her follow-up eye exam showed no progression of the macular degeneration. Her night vision improved, and I still remember exactly what she told me. "Doctor, my eyes just don't feel as tired anymore." Now, was that entirely because of blueberries? Probably not. But the scientific evidence strongly supports the idea that they played a major role. Here's why blueberries are so remarkable for senior eye health. First, they contain some of the highest anthocyanin concentrations found in any food on Earth. These anthocyanins interact with proteins involved in the rhodopsin cycle, the biochemical process your eyes rely on for dim light vision. They help regenerate visual pigments more efficiently after light exposure. That's actually why blueberries were studied by the British Royal Air Force during World War II to help improve pilots' night vision. And no, that's not folklore. It's documented history. Second, blueberries contain lutein and zeaxanthin, those same protective carotenoids that support the macula. Third, they're an excellent source of vitamin C. 1 cup provides approximately 14 milligrams, enough to contribute meaningfully to vitamin C levels inside the eye. Fourth, they contain pterostilbene, a compound related to resveratrol that research suggests may reduce inflammation in eye tissues and potentially slow diabetic retinopathy progression. Now let's talk about timing, because this is the part most health videos leave out completely, and it matters enormously. Why before bed? During sleep, your body enters a deep repair phase between approximately 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Assuming you're asleep, the body releases high levels of growth hormone and performs some of its most intensive cellular repair work. And remember, the retina is actually nervous tissue, essentially an extension of the brain itself. During sleep, it undergoes maintenance and recovery as well. Melatonin, the hormone your brain produces in darkness, is not only involved in sleep. Research published in Molecular Vision found that melatonin receptors exist directly in retinal cells, and melatonin itself acts as an antioxidant protecting those cells from oxidative stress. When you eat blueberries about an hour before bedtime, their antioxidants and anthocyanins are actively circulating in your bloodstream during this peak repair window. In other words, you're supplying the body with repair materials precisely when it's ready to use them. Compare that to eating blueberries in the morning. During the daytime, the body is in a much more active state, burning energy, handling stress, processing blue light exposure. Antioxidants consumed earlier in the day are distributed across many competing demands. At night, metabolism slows, digestion becomes gentler, and nutrients can be directed more effectively toward restoration, including retinal repair. There's another major advantage for seniors: blood sugar control. Blueberries have a relatively low glycemic index of around 53, meaning they don't trigger the dramatic blood sugar spikes associated with many nighttime snacks. For seniors managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, and that includes a very large portion of older adults, this makes blueberries one of the safest evening snacks available. Let me tell you about another patient. I'll call him Robert. Robert was 72 years old, a retired engineer living with type 2 diabetes. His greatest fear was developing diabetic retinopathy because his older brother had already lost his vision to it. He began eating half a cup of frozen blueberries each evening about an hour before sleep. What surprised him most was that his sleep quality improved noticeably. But even more importantly, his next eye exam showed stable retinal health for the first time in 3 years. His endocrinologist also noticed a slight improvement in his fasting glucose levels, likely due to the fiber in the blueberries slowing overnight glucose absorption. These aren't miracles. They're examples of consistent nutrition working together with the body's natural rhythms. If you know someone over 60, please share this information with them. Something as simple as this could genuinely help protect their vision. Now let's continue. How much should you eat, and what's the best way to consume them? Based on the current research, I generally recommend between half a cup and 1 full cup of blueberries daily for eye health support. For nighttime repair specifically, try eating them 1 to 2 hours before bed. Now let's answer some common practical questions. Fresh or frozen, which is better? Honestly, frozen blueberries may sometimes be even more nutritious than fresh ones. Most people are surprised to hear that. Why? Because blueberries are usually frozen immediately after harvest while fully ripe, preserving their anthocyanins and antioxidants. Fresh berries, especially those sitting in grocery stores or refrigerators for days, gradually lose nutrient content. So don't feel guilty buying frozen blueberries. They're an excellent choice. Wild blueberries or cultivated blueberries? Wild blueberries win. They're smaller, but can contain nearly double the antioxidant content of larger cultivated varieties. Can you blend them into smoothies? Absolutely. Blending actually helps break down plant cell walls and may improve nutrient absorption. Just avoid loading the smoothie with sugar before bedtime. What about blueberry juice? I generally don't recommend relying on juice. Most commercial juices are diluted, contain added sugars, and lack the fiber that helps regulate nutrient absorption. Whole berries remain the superior option. Can seniors with kidney disease eat blueberries? Generally, yes. Blueberries are considered relatively kidney-friendly because they're lower in potassium and phosphorus than many fruits. But anyone with advanced kidney disease or dialysis requirements should always consult their nephrologist first. Now, blueberries may be the star of today's discussion, but there are a few companion strategies that can strengthen their effects even more. Omega-3 fatty acids are extremely important. The retina contains high concentrations of DHA, a critical omega-3 fat. Foods like salmon, sardines, walnuts, and flaxseed help maintain healthy retinal cell membranes. Leafy greens such as kale, spinach, and collard greens are rich in lutein and zeaxanthin. Pairing greens at dinner with blueberries before bed creates an excellent nutritional combination for eye protection. And don't fear eggs. Egg yolks contain highly bioavailable lutein and zeaxanthin, meaning your body absorbs them exceptionally well. Hydration matters too. Many seniors live in a mildly dehydrated state without realizing it. Proper hydration helps maintain tear production and corneal health. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water daily unless your physician advises otherwise. And one final critical point: protect your eyes from blue light and UV exposure. Whether it's sunlight or excessive screen time, cumulative light exposure significantly contributes to macular degeneration. UV protective sunglasses outdoors and reduced screen use before bed can dramatically help. Now let's briefly revisit bilberries because they deserve special attention. Bilberries are essentially the European wild blueberry, but they contain even higher anthocyanin concentrations than standard American blueberries. Fresh bilberries are difficult to find in the US, but bilberry extract supplements are widely available and have been studied extensively. One clinical ophthalmology study found that bilberry extract reduced eye fatigue, improved contrast sensitivity, and decreased visual discomfort among people using computers for extended periods. Another Japanese study showed improvements in visual acuity after only 4 weeks of supplementation. If fresh blueberries or bilberries aren't available, a quality bilberry supplement standardized to at least 25% anthocyanins may be a reasonable alternative. Just remember, always consult your physician before starting supplements, especially if you use blood thinners, since bilberry can have mild anticoagulant effects. Now let me address a few common myths. My vision is already poor, so nutrition won't help. Not true. Even with existing macular degeneration or cataracts, proper nutrition may help slow progression and preserve stability. It's never too late to support your eyes. I already take an eye vitamin. Supplements can help, but they don't replace whole foods. The unique combination of phytonutrients found naturally in blueberries cannot be perfectly recreated in pill form. Food first, supplements second. Blueberries reverse cataracts. No food reverses established cataracts. Surgery remains the only definitive treatment once cataracts significantly impair vision. However, antioxidants may help slow cataract development over time. Blueberries contain too much sugar for diabetics. Actually, blueberries are considered one of the safest fruits for people with diabetes because of their low glycemic index and fiber content. Portion control still matters, but half a cup to 1 cup is generally very manageable. And finally, I don't like blueberries. Fair enough. Try blending frozen blueberries with unsweetened almond milk and a handful of spinach into a small evening smoothie. Nutritionally powerful and surprisingly mild in flavor. Let me leave you with this. Your eyesight is precious. Once vision is lost, no amount of regret can fully restore it. But protecting your vision doesn't need to be expensive or complicated. Half a cup to 1 cup of blueberries before bed, fresh or frozen. That's the habit. Combine it with leafy greens, healthy fats, hydration, UV protective sunglasses, and regular eye exams, and you'll be giving your eyes the strongest possible defense against aging. I'm Dr. Lori Sanders, and I truly want you to keep seeing clearly for the rest of your life. If this video helped you, leave a comment below and tell me what surprised you most. Share this with a senior you care about, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of your eyes, take care of yourself. Good night.